How about you puff me from the back and use my balls as a dessert, bub?
It's the Catican.
No. We're not doing that today. It was gluten-free. Yeah, no buns.
Hey, it's me, your buddy Ben.
Today's episode is brought to you by the premier app for discreetly meeting local skaters in your area, Grindr.
Colin Chandler 1-for-1 on long twos.
Some would say the heir to the Kawhi Leonard throne, Colin Chandler.
You calling him a White Claw?
What a great name.
Are you a skateboarder looking to connect with other skaters nearby? Then check out Grindr, the app that helps you discreetly meet fellow skaters. Whether you're searching for a truck stop, rest stop, or a back alley to perfect your tricks, Grindr helps you find the perfect spot to meet up with like-minded skaters.
Love to blow that 10 into 15 into 20 and really feel comfortable watching it.
Like the what?
What?
You'd like the what?
Blow that 10-point lead into a 15 lead or a 20-point lead. But
Wait, what do you think? Are you blowing 10s or?
If I'm lucky, yeah.
Single skaters, jacked skaters, down for whatever skaters, you name it. And let me tell you, this app is legit. Just ask my girlfriend. Now she's totally on board and has agreed not to ask me about it anymore. I'm connecting with skaters all over the place. So pull out your skateboard, whether it's in your garage, attic, or buried deeply in your closet. Download Grindr today. Start connecting with your local skate community, because sometimes the best rides are the ones you share.
And honestly, I thought we went through the back door way too many times. Like, I feel like that's on that type of offense.
Can you go to the back door too much?
You certainly can, depending on, a variety of circumstances, actually.
Experience, mostly, yeah.
Preparation, before.
Yeah, the preparation ritual to go to the back door is significant.
48-hour notice is what I've. Is what
that's what I tell my wife.
The Troy game, loved it. Huge for me. My wife's boyfriend's name is Troy, so when he was picking her up to take her out on Friday night, she'll be back in the morning. I was just like, "You guys are going down tonight," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I was playing Troy." He was like, "I went to Brown." I was like, "I didn't know you went to an HBCU."
Another one.
It's the Catican. Big show tonight. Big show. Lots to cover. Fellas, how we feeling?
Really glad the intro played. Your laptop didn't just kill itself again. And,
no, it did it before the show started this time. My laptop crashed.
Really excited to find out what the big news is, because I am drawing a blank. But it's good to see you guys. Good to be here.
yeah, also excited to hear what the big news is. Happy to be here. Happy it's right in the dead of the off season. Though we are starting to get some practice footage, so that's nice.
Desperately need practice footage or something to talk about on this show. It's getting rough out here.
This is going to be a Wednesday night quickie for sure, but I'm into it.
I need some sort of games. Like I'm counting down the days to football season.
Playing for La Familia is going to be fun. I like that addition. I don't know how that's going to go, but good to see Young Buck. Like he always kind of embraced, like, from the get go. He's just psyched to be here, so I'm excited to see him play. Hopefully we can get Nate Sestina back and a couple other guys. But I think they'll challenge for the title in the TBT this summer. That'll be fun to watch too.
Last year, I was initially really on the fence about Kareem Cantor playing. I mean, everyone else played at UK, and to have one guy that didn't felt a little strange. And then he was our best player other than Sestina. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, please come back. Let's run it back. So,
for sure.
I'm excited to see Khalil Whitney.
Yeah.
We got behind him, so it'll be fun to see him play.
When did that start? Do you guys know?
I don't. I saw Archie Goodwin on the team. I think he's actually been in TBT for a number of years, even longer than we've had La Familia. But he had, I don't know if they were friends from home or what, but he, anyway, another team that he's played for. But he's on the roster for this year. I think it'll be really fun to see these guys, and I appreciate Ansley being the first Hope graduate to join. I think that's probably good long term for keeping connected with the older guys to the Pope era.
Should get some of those guys on the show. I'm gonna get my best guy on it. Ben, can you?
Yeah, I'm on it.
I'm like 0 for 4 on interview requests for this show.
Man, me too. Honestly, like it always is like, yeah, no, totally, and then like crickets. So maybe we just lock him in the second we can. Well, we'll see.
Shout out Ryan Hammer though. You know, he's gotten back to both of us. Said yes, and then here we are.
He's been busy.
No Ryan Hammer.
You know, he did. He was like the first one we reached out to.
Yeah, super nice guy. Super nice
Totally.
guy.
Does a lot of content. Just I think he
Tough
saw
to
our
schedule.
show. Yeah,
He's a hot commodity though.
for sure.
He's gonna get picked up by somebody, right?
I think he's been offered several times. I'm sure because he has a really good personality.
So,
But
new with Kentucky sports, huh?
hey, you know what? I saw a picture of Stoops, cigarette in hand, at the bar, and we're going 10-2 or 2-10. Ben says 2-10. I say 10-2. Maybe that's not enough games. They probably play 13 now. Call it 10-3. Whatever it is, I see some bright things in the future. That dude is either living his last life in Kentucky or he's about to just shock the world. And I'm going to go with the positive side of that. I'm excited for the football season. Just because every ranking has them dead last. The quarterback rankings dead last. Recruiting class dead last. Mark Stoops dead last. So,
I did see a tier list that was broken out by, I don't know what advanced metric it was, but it was how many wins they thought you'd get, and it actually had Mississippi State behind us. So
Shout out to
I
Brennan
was
Walker, huh?
I was encouraged that there was at least one SEC team projected worse than us. But now that I
Which
think about it, they probably just have a harder schedule. I mean,
No, they got ass blasted by Toledo last year, like 41-17. They were way worse than we were last year. I feel like if we'd have played them, we'd have beat that ass. But so maybe I don't know. I don't think they picked it ever since Mike Leach dipped out. Rest in peace to the big guy. But I don't think they've been the same. I don't think they're going to be either. But I don't. We're also paying Mark Stoops $9 million, so we'll see what happens.
I think it depends on which week we would have played Toledo last year, if we beat Toledo or not.
Which week would we not have beat Toledo last year? Because they did play a couple teams from the MAC or Sunbelt. They only played Sunbelt teams, I guess, which are a little worse. So that's fine.
All right, let's.
I think we have some news that's happened since last week. Jasper Johnson, they announced this morning, made the U19 Team USA, dropped from 31 initial guys trying out down to made the final team of 12, which is exciting.
Wow.
And I think our youth teams do so well. Beat the hell out of everyone in the U18 World Cup last year, or maybe U17, and U18 was Americup maybe.
You're right
but
on that one, yeah.
We were great in Americup too. Jasper's been involved a lot. He was on that Americup winning team. And I don't think that was his first stint with Team USA either. So that should be fun. Kind of a mix, a couple current college guys, a couple incoming college guys, and a couple of the top seniors. So looking forward to that. That's coming up this week.
So what do they have like? It's coming up this week. Are they playing like the World Cup is this week? You saying like for the U19?
Yeah. So
okay, right on.
Yeah. So they move straight from the tryouts and training camp into. I think they just fly to Switzerland at some point here soon, and get into playing.
It'd be good to see a little ball, honestly, because we're about to be in the dead period of sports, right? Where it's just baseball, pretty much. It's super boring. We have a game 7 on Sunday. It'll be good, but other than that,
boys, can you see me right now, or is my screen black?
It's black, brother.
Hell yeah, dude.
Love it.
It's gonna be every episode now. I've got a new laptop.
Oh no! Put the gear back up. That made me laugh so hard. I rewatched that and I saw you have the gear where it's like configure your settings. That was the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Here, I'm gonna do this one for the ladies.
Oh no! Is it gonna be a profile pic? Because I wore the jersey again just for Lando because he liked it so much.
Hold on, I have an idea.
Oh no! It's like the last thing I want to hear from you.
See, it's not black for me, but you are frozen. So
see, it's black for me with the buffering.
Might as well be.
That's all I see. I just see the little spinning circle. I wonder what the audience sees. I can't see chat, so I don't know if
Hey,
there is a
guys.
chat. Still nothing, brother.
No.
Oh man.
So
Oh,
shout
hey,
out
what? Hi
Oh,
for a
thanks.
sec.
How about this?
Hey, Jer
Hear me
Bear.
now?
better.
Yeah,
Is that? I'm on my phone.
that's what I do every episode. I love
Look
it.
at this.
Nice.
Do you see my laptop?
Looks
My
good, bro.
son ripped out the keys.
That's super helpful.
I wonder if the post office is open and I'll deliver the puppets while on the show.
Just go from. That's crazy. You haven't sent him yet?
Don't just be cool, dude. You know?
I thought we talked about this last week. My bad. My bad.
Oh man. Do I sound bad or?
No, it sounds like you're streaming IRL. So it's what the kids like these days.
My goodness, this is what a disaster. Who's the producer of this show?
Yeah, man. Who? Shout out Jimmy Jam, loyal BBN fan show in the chat.
Hey.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I think you said Jasper made USA U19 team right about when I did. I saw he did an interview with Jason Crow. I didn't watch it. Um, someone said it looked like he was ready to be done with that interview, and I just didn't didn't get around to watching it.
What?
Was it good?
Didn't see it.
Couple other news items. We got some scheduling stuff. We've got our MTE finally got announced. We're playing Valpo, Eastern Illinois, and Southern, which should be good. It'll be like last year. It's replacing the Lipscomb, WKU, and Jackson State.
So Southern's the SWAC team, but I like the Valpo
Right.
ad. That's a name with a little more. I like that
Yeah.
game. I mean, they've had some success over the years. One of the premier low mid majors, right? Like they had wasn't is it Bryce something? He's the coach at Grand Canyon or was for a little while. Hit that shot in like
Right.
98.
Bryce Drew.
There you go. Exactly. So I like the Valpo ad. It has a little bit more name, Rick.
Thank you, Braden. I have a white
Yeah,
surgery
yeah.
on my leg.
Oh yeah,
And,
brother, spitting up like a
And
baby.
Eddie says, "Oh, see, jokes on him. Typo in this one. Pedro mustache, like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
Pedro
Missing
Pascal,
keys.
not a
Oh
Pedro
yeah, Pedro.
mustache.
Compare me to Pedro Pascal. That's pretty good. Pascal.
Hey man, you know what, Eddie? I love that for you and for Jared, honestly.
No, I think that MTE will be exciting. I'm just happy to have our schedule pretty much finalized.
Yeah.
And the real purpose of those games, like they're not real needle movers. They're there because the way the rules are written, you get to play 2 extra games if you schedule an MTE, and we get essentially 3 extra games of home revenue if we self-host rather than play in one of the big ones. Kind of a bummer. I mean, some of the big ones are pretty cool. The Players Era should be great. Lineup, awesome.
Yeah, San Diego State's in that again. They make a ton of money off that. It's nuts.
I think Maui's lineup this year is pretty bad, but like it's always pretty cool to be involved in. So I'm just happy to have our schedule done. SEC schedule finalized. That's
How they only
I
have
think it's
Arkansas
good.
and Kentucky playing one time is still a miss. Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And it's only
Though-
at Arkansas this year, right, at Bud Walton.
Right. They did fix the fact that we only played Florida once last year. I know they got a bunch of blowback last year when they only played in Lexington, and so happy to have
They
that on there
lost.
twice. I think that'll be a really tough game again. I think Florida should be pretty good, but
They reloaded for sure.
I'm of the opinion that it's a whole lot more fun to play good teams and play them often and really test yourself rather than blow through an easy schedule.
Well, especially in college basketball when you've got 30 plus chances.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just play everybody. I mean, one loss doesn't kill. Like even in football anymore, one loss doesn't kill you, as we found out last year. You know, like a couple you can get, but in basketball, you can play a lot of games and still. I mean, we saw UConn go 0-3 in their MTE last year, and they were. I mean, they didn't three-peat, but they came pretty damn close to knocking out a couple teams there. But I think you do play. Why not play them? Honestly, I don't see why not to have more. Like I agree, better teams on the schedule is just better for everybody, in my opinion.
I just want
I
Maui.
do think, and
Is it too much to ask for a little Maui?
well, so
I think the
I
three
think
home
for,
games is what's tough.
I honestly think for now it is too much to ask in an era where all the athletic directors just got asked to pay and come up with essentially $20 million of new expenses, which is significant. I mean that's a huge burden on them anyway. With our self-hosted MTE, I don't know what we make from it. I assume they're buy games and we're paying those teams to play here, but also we make a ton of revenue on our home games, so
Oh, yeah.
there's a profit there. And I read Maui actually costs teams like 400 grand to participate in because they don't cover any of the transportation or lodging for any of the participants. It just comes straight out of the travel budget for the teams every
I
year.
wonder
And
if
that's
tournaments like that'll struggle going forward with the things like the Players Era tournament
oh
paying
yeah,
out $1 million to the winning team versus
right.
making you pay $500,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think Maui really needs to figure that out. I mean it was always such a big spectacle, huge event, probably the most prestigious of these big Thanksgiving weekend MTEs, but you're just not going to draw a bunch of good teams that are capable. I mean, if you're a good enough team, you probably also make a ton of money for your home games. And if you
Yeah.
sit there and you look and you say, I can get 3 home games worth of revenue, or I can spend $500,000, and especially when their lineup isn't good. I mean, it's one thing if you're paying $500,000 and you're playing UConn and some other premier programs, but if it isn't an appealing thing to do anymore, then you're not even really getting good experience or good. I mean, it's
Exposure or anything. What are they offering other than a trip to
right.
the islands?
They're
Basically.
offering me seeing Mark Pope in a Hawaiian printed pullover.
Yeah,
Fair.
that might be worth the $500,000. I don't know.
I also think for our show, our inevitable 2 a.m. stream of us getting real slap happy with it.
All
Coming at
6
you
people
live
that'll
from
watch.
Maui.
There you
Bruh.
go. There's a thought.
Donate now if you wish to see this.
We all just board up together. One king size
If you
four of us
if you
scroll up.
look
we'll be
at our-
so lucky if it's a king size.
if you look at our backdrop here, we're actually planning ahead. We've already subconsciously been planning this Maui trip.
So disappointing it's not happening.
Guys, don't worry.
And I
I got
think
the
Pope's
laptop stuff sorted out. So
I can
Nice.
tell you look great with that Pedro mustache again.
the other factor is at this point, our season ticket holders have become accustomed to having X many home games, and that includes these 3 from the MTE. And so they're not going to be happy if you. And we've seen what happens if you keep ticket prices the same and remove a game that went over like a lead balloon with the football team. And so it's tough. I mean, I understand the pressure on AD, on the AD, and on Pope too. But also, Maui aside, it would be super cool to participate in Players Era. That is stacked. Good teams everywhere. And at some point, I mean, I know last year, what was it, $1 million per team with an extra $1 million to the winner. At some point, offers like that could rival what you'd make for 3 home games, and then I think financially it becomes a better question.
Well, it depends on where that money goes because a lot of that's NIL, right? And I think the house settlement that'll be tricky to see how. I've been wondering how that'll play out. I know like NIL can be a separate thing from like the budget that the house just gave everybody, and it will be, right? But like, how long can they offer that much money? Because I don't think the TV money from the Players Era generated nearly the money they paid out to teams last year. But maybe it would. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. I love stuff like that. I think it's really forward thinking, to have a tournament like that. Because I mean, you're going to get these guys playing for real money, and that you're going to be some great basketball out of that. That and I don't know how that helps the bottom line or like replacing those home games. If you can put some of that into the athletic budget again, or if it'll be interesting
Right.
to see how they can kind of like coexist if they can at all.
I wonder when they just turned the NCAA tournament into that.
The NCAA tournaments,
I
they
don't
just
know.
pay for. Oh God, stop it! That sucks.
Or if the I hate that too. But also, if they don't, what if someone comes? I mean, Fox just spit out this college basketball crown thing last year. What if someone does that is more successful and also has prizes that make it where teams are considering. I actually don't think you can turn down an NCAA tournament bid. I think you're prohibited from
Well,
doing
they
that.
used
So,
to,
so
right?
maybe not.
State Farm NCAA tournament and just run it.
Yeah, but remember, so the NIT used to be the national championship tournament. I think until like 45, and then you could. And I remember, so Ohio State became the first #1 team ever to turn down a tournament invite because they said their athletic program was becoming more important than their academics. And since that point, I think in like the 40s or 50s, somewhere in there. Since that point, I think you're right. You are prohibited from turning down an NCAA bid. But Ohio State did do that as the #1 ranked team one year. Turned down all invites. So I think since then there is precedent that you can't do it anymore. So you're probably right.
Or what?
But yeah,
Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. But that's what they say. That's the whole thing with the NCAA, right? Or what are you going to do? No transfer portal? Guess what? Still going to leave. You know? We found that out, that's happening. I don't know. It is interesting that anyone follows any of the rules anymore, because what are they going to do? Punish Missouri some more? Like, I don't really get it. Like,
Brayden, look at Golden Brown, dude.
yeah, I spend a lot of time outside, bro. And, sit at the hot tub a lot. What do? You hanging out? You look good.
I work in a closet, so you've been over this.
That's fair. Yeah, you got back problems probably now. I've never seen you work at that little desk. That was crazy.
Dude.
I know. I'm sad I haven't seen your little desk in the closet.
Oh, it make your back hurt just looking at him. You get down there real good. You got a nice little squat stance. I seen it with my own eyes. I was there for a week, bro. I saw the whole thing unfold.
Looking at my list of topics here. Let's see. All right, boys. Iran. Thoughts?
Oh boy.
Anyways. That's the Catican.
Actually, on that note,
oh Lord. Where's Caleb?
Zach Toe and Walker Horn are back. So it looks like we're rolling with 16 guys on the team, which is exciting. I was curious. They changed the house settlement at the last minute to let you grandfather in some of the players that had been told they weren't going to have a roster spot.
Well, that's
so
nice.
We must have done. Yeah, so we must have done that with one or both of those guys that lets us exceed that 15.
Are they on one-day contracts again? Because when Mark Pope talked about that, I was like,
"Oh yeah,
I
don't know.
I've ever heard. Like, you just don't show up one day and you're cut."
Yeah, it also is like, I mean, I love the guy. I'm not going to question him. But if you really had this guy in warm-ups on the bench at every single game, and he worked his ass off in practice all season long, and you gave him his jersey one day before the last game of the year, that's kind of hurtful.
Throw him a double nickel. Throw him the 55 jersey or something nobody cares about. I mean, it doesn't have to be something good.
But I've seen him in the photos coming out of practice. He looks happy to be back. Those two being back means I was curious. I hadn't seen any Grant Derbyshire pictures in practice. Then it came out that he's going to UC with Kerr. So it's kind of exciting. I kind of thought, given the opportunity, he'd be back, but I think he's from Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area. So go have fun at home, I guess.
I really wish Kirk Creasy was back on this team, but that's okay. We didn't get enough of that kid. I feel like, what was it, 9 games? That sucks.
Did you guys see, I guess, Pope did an interview where he's talking about Jaland Lowe, and I saw Matt Jones say that he thought that Jaland Lowe was going to be the leading scorer on next year's team.
I didn't see that, but I could see it being the case. I mean,
I saw Matt saying that.
Yeah. I know Pope was talking up Lowe. I just don't see him being the top scorer.
Or you think it'll be Ortega?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I forget. I don't forget about Ortega, but yeah, wasn't he the leading scorer last year too, essentially, or at 16 games?
Yeah.
I mean our leading scorer is coming back, so it could be tough for somebody to overtake him, I think. But okay.
Yeah, Jimmy's right. He'll definitely lead in assists. Or depending, how much we see from BG.
Or JQ.
Got to stick up for Caleb while he's not here.
I was going to say, JQ, oh man, I can't wait to see that guy play week 1.
In the BG Lieber spot.
The BG leaver spot. I'm still BG Gnostic for now, but we'll see. Love that he's back, though. That's great. It's a good sign, I think.
I mean, I think Jalen Lowe is very capable of scoring. He wasn't super
Yep.
efficient last year. I think that was an area where he struggled. Took a lot of hard shots, but also had to because he didn't have a ton of help around him. The shooting we should be able to put around him. The guys cutting to the basket. The athleticism we'll have around him, I think, might really open things up for him. And I think even as inefficient as he was at 16 a game or so at Pitt. So
17.1, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
on that.
Not only do I not see him as the leading scorer next year, and I do think he'll be good. I do think he's an important piece. He might be the most important piece in between us being just a good basketball team and a national championship contender. That's how important I think he is. Don't think he's going to be leading scorer. I think it's Ortega Owe. And I think there's a better chance of Aberdeen averaging more than him averaging the most on the team.
That's tough. Maybe. I mean, I could see that. I think Aberdeen will be really good. I think. Man, I was just watching some JQ highlights. He just yams that thing on. When he was healthy, bro, what was he, 16 last year? Dude, if that kid plays up, he's still not 18, right? He's still 17 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should be talking about him with the mustache. I mean, looking like Pedro Pascal, according to the chat. Should I sit this one out, guys?
Yeah,
with the Wenyan picture that one time.
I'm super excited for JQ. I skeptical like everyone else about when he'll return. I mean, I think he's still saying I'll be ready game 1. Other people say like normal timeline for an ACL would put him at like December. But man, he's at practice. He's standing there. I mean, he's obviously not going. He's not running. He's not participating in that way. But every time I see him standing and moving and walking, it's like that's a little better than I thought it'd be. Yeah, right, exactly.
He's gonna be so good. Like I honestly think he is like you talk about a couple guys being more important. I think if he plays up to his potential, like that's really where we become a dominant team, is with him playing. I mean, he's been damn near was a high school junior playing at Arizona State last year, which is nuts. I think he's going to be so good.
Led the country in blocks. Am I making that up?
I don't know. He definitely put a bunch of people on posters. He had a dunk against Arizona. I watched like 14 times yesterday. He just put him through the rim. It was wonderful.
Anything new?
I may have been making that up.
Do you think Yelovich, that's going to be some drama?
With the visa?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Trump. I don't know, bro. ICE has got some big deals in their hands these days. Honestly, I can't I would say no, but maybe. It could be. Depends.
Says potentially be the best shot blocker since TD. This is Nerlens Noel erasure, and I won't stand for it.
Oh. Yeah, he did kind of look like an eraser at times. Like his hair. But like, no, I mean it's at least that, I think, at least since Nerlens, right?
Yeah. I think Nerlens was a better shot blocker than AD personally.
I just can't.
Controversial.
Is AD not one of the greatest shot blockers in NCAA history in a single season?
I can't get over the picture someone has of, I don't know if this was the Final Four game or the championship game, but someone took a picture of their TV and it's sitting there and it's comparing AD's block numbers to blocks that like other teams in total. And AD's at the top of the list. I mean, it's
he's the greatest shot blocker in college basketball history for a single season.
Right behind Nerlens, man. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, yeah. Okay. Yeah, right behind Nerlens. You're right. Yep.
Otis says, Lowe played with a broken finger on his shooting hand, still put up good numbers.
How do y'all know this stuff?
Yeah, I mean we've talked about that a couple times before.
I didn't realize that. My bad.
He says hard shots for sure last year. 17 points at Pittsburgh with a broken finger, and said he'll have a better team this year and not a high school team and coach.
Ooh,
I agree. A hot take here from Jimmy. JQ will be like Noel, better than AD. His wingspan is bigger.
So they did. They did take a picture of JQ standing in front of the Anthony Davis wingspan poster, and I
Mhm.
think JQ did have a longer wingspan, which is crazy.
He's
So I think
like
he's also like
17.
2 inches shorter, maybe.
Oh wow.
Just
Don't let
wild.
Pope get that kid healthy early. I mean, my God, if he's going to be so crazy good here. I can't wait.
Andre Riddick would send all them boys. Oh my god.
Okay. Oh, that's good to be
I
back.
think we have. I think we have so much to look forward to. I think that there are some unknowns, some question marks. When is JQ back? How does Lowe recover to sort of his freshman year numbers? How does Cam Williams come up from his conference to SEC play? How does Aberdeen step into a bigger role? How does BG and Trent Noah and Colin Chandler build on what they did for us last year? How does Hawthorne look? But I think that even if those aren't all the best outcome they could be, we're going to be dangerous. We have so many good guys. We have more depth than last year. We have more athletic. I mean, there's just so much. The only place I think we step back, or the only two places, or rather, are age and experience. But even still, we have a ton of sophomores. It's not like we have a million freshmen coming in,
Yeah.
and shooting. And again, I don't think any of these guys are necessarily bad shooters. We don't have a Jackson Robinson, Kobe Brea type, but we have a lot of guys who still shoot pretty well, 35% plus, and they're guys you
Guys
can't
that'll
leave
get to the
open.
rack, like they'll
Right.
I think the athleticism will outweigh. Yeah, I think you're dead on with that. I think that we in places that we on paper might be a little more deficient. I think they'll make up for it. Just like this team's depth is crazy. Like, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is they're gonna go. They're gonna go. We could play 13 guys and be okay with. They're not going to, but they could. I mean, they're gonna have that many.
It kind of I don't know if I'd say hot take, but we were incredibly deep last year. I mean, it didn't feel
Yeah,
that way because we had so many injury problems, especially at like primary ball handler position. Um, but what team can lose essentially two, I'd say 2.5 starters plus your backup point guard, and we made a Sweet 16. I mean,
yeah.
we were so deep. Those are supposed to be devastating injuries, especially when they're all sort of at the same position. And we took that. We didn't add any worse players, and we just added 2 more players.
Yeah.
I mean, we are so deep.
I mean, the fact that we love the kid, but like the fact that Travis was getting regular minutes last year at the point guard position and we still made the run we did is significant. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Trent Noah's name, and he's been making way. I mean, he's still a good basketball player. There's still the whole team. I mean, well, you're absolutely right. I feel like we didn't really drop off. I mean, you don't have Lamont Butler. I feel like Lowe is good. I don't think he's Lamont quite as a pure point, but I feel like he does a lot of things. And he's bigger than Lamont. He has a little bit more athleticism, I think. Not again, I love Lamont Butler, but like you said, I don't think we got worse anywhere, and I think we got more athletic and a little more depth. Even given a very deep team last year. I mean, Carr missed time. Obviously, Robinson got his season cut short. Butler missed a lot of time. I mean, there's not a lot of teams that could do that and not just drop 12 straight games. I mean, honestly, to have that many injuries where guys missed real significant time we did. I think it's gonna be great.
And it's not like that happened during an easy stretch. We had the number 3 strength of schedule in the country. Every game we played was against a pretty good team, and so
Tough.
I don't think we appreciate enough. I mean, people like to dog on Travis because the drop off was significant, and it was. That's fair, but the fact that we still won the games we did and went on the run that we did despite all those injuries is just insane. And like I said, we've only added players. I mean, conceivably, our I mean, Trent Noah's probably
I forgot about Kirk
was
Reason
one of
sometimes
the
too.
was one of the guys I had lower expectations of last year, and he's still probably one of the least experienced, least highly touted guys on the team. It's not like we added. It's not like he's elevated to a starter role or something. He's still going to be.
He
in
might
sort
be
of that
further
same
down
boat.
the depth chart this year than he was last year.
Right?
Even.
Yeah, it's
Certainly.
and it's from the practice footage they put out. They put out a video today. Hawthorne looked great. It was like a 45-second clip, so not a ton. Hawthorne had 2 threes, blocked Mo D, and a good block where he was able to kind of swat it and then grab it and push. And like that's awesome.
Hawthorne would have got PT last year, come near the end of the season, and he might not this year if we stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that should say a lot about the strength of this year's team.
I'm kind of hopeful that he finds a way to make the coaches keep him on the floor. I think he.
Me too.
I hope that's
I
the
know
case,
I'm
and it's not out of like necessity, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the
Right,
difference.
yeah,
Is make it,
absolutely.
earn like get on there and beat out some guys, then have to be put in that position just because we don't have any depth. But that would be the worst case scenario, I think. But yeah, I'd like to see him, put pressure on the coaches to keep him on the floor.
JT's mentioning Jasper. I feel like Jasper gets overlooked a lot in these conversations as well. Not that I don't think it'd be great. It's just we don't have to rely on Jasper to be a superstar.
Yeah. Well, I watched a ton of OTE last year, and I thought he looked good. I mean, OTE is like hardly basketball. They've got some crazy rules. The product they put out is frankly insane. It's super interesting. If you haven't watched a game, do it. Watch 2K some this year. It's interesting. A lot of them are free on YouTube, but it's crazy. But it's close enough to basketball that you can see Jasper moving with the ball, moving without the ball, shooting. I mean, I think he's a great talent. I think it's going to be fun. It's huge for me that he made this U19 team because the tryouts were stacked. There are a lot of good players that didn't make that team, and so the fact that he did, I think, is huge.
And not to toot our own horn, but we have a source with Jasper who will tell us how great of a kid he is, and how ready to be a cat he was all along.
You're talking about Barry Larkin. I'm gonna jump off the tallest building I can find, bro.
Barry Larkin, the baseball player?
No, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know Barry Larkin,
Mr. Blanton's himself.
Question I have is if Jasper can play defense. That's a great question. We did not learn that from OTE. I can tell you that much.
Probably not at the level you need him to this year, but maybe.
So Hawthorne get more playing time than people think. Jasper can create his own shot, and he'll surprise everyone how good he really is. I agree with that. The thing is that you can say that Hawthorne will get more playing time,
but over who though? Who's going to be sitting down? That's what I want to know.
There's only so many minutes to go around.
There's 200 minutes a game. Who is sitting down? That's what I want to know.
I personally advocate for taking every game to double overtime, just so we have an extra 10 minutes to divide between the players. I mean, then once we get into 2OT, we can blow them out. But
that's the thing. I want to see all of them play too, but I'm just.
They play Southern and Valpo and Eastern Illinois. You'll see some playing time for some guys. I promise you.
And Louisville.
I think my biggest question about Jasper is every time I think about him playing, I think of a highlight video that came out last year where he jumped up and did a 360 and shot a 3. And it went in and it was huge and the crowd oohed and awed. It's like, that's an insane thing to do. That's an awful shot. Why would you ever do that? If you have the time to do that, you can pass the ball, you can drive, you can take a normal 3. Like I just
no scope
and stuff like that is cool, but it does make me worry about his decision making. I don't know the context of the game. Maybe it didn't matter. Maybe they were up by 30.
But the fact
maybe it did help him get open. I mean, it's one of those. It's almost like the long 2 thing, where I don't care if it goes in. It's a terrible shot. I'm going to complain.
If you are comparing a 360 no scope 3-pointer to a terrible or a tough 2, I'm going to lose my mind.
Unbelievable.
I think, that's how you get a freak bomb out of Pope if you shoot a shot like that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, right.
Gosh. I love how
it's impressive.
It's like, okay,
it's impressive that he made that shot, but why did you take it?
I gotta go look that up. That sounds like my type of thing.
Peanut Butter Posse is back, fellas. He wasn't here last week.
Let's go. That's true. Where was he at?
He's with his most measured take I've ever seen. some games will call for certain guys to get minutes, others not. I mean, there's no disagreeing with that.
Don't
Totally agree.
hurt yourself sitting on that fence, bud. That's come on, peanut butter posse. Get warm up. Get in the game, buddy.
That was an almond butter posse take. That's what that was.
Oh my god. Absolutely.
I wish there was more to talk about.
Me too.
That while I may not be a believer in the football team this year, I am a believer in Zach Calzada, strictly on vibes.
Strictly, he's not going to be the worst. I thought he's picked as the worst quarterback in the SEC. I just don't see that. I really don't. I think he's going to be much better than that. But if it either has to go great or horribly. Either way, it'll be good for us. I think. Don't let it be apathy. Don't let him win 5 games like I picked or whatever. That'll be the worst thing we could have.
So Kentucky football with me is a dangerous drug because, I'm talking trash now, but by the time that it's that first weekend,
he's so invested.
I will convince myself we're going bowling.
You will.
And I was looking at. Do you guys know who Phil Steele is?
I do know Phil Steele. Yes.
So
love his magazine.
He puts. It says. Where are we at here? We got a commitment from Messiah Tilson. That's fun. But Phil Steele put our punter and 2 of our offensive linemen and a linebacker on his all SEC teams. And I did think during the offseason this year, as far as transfer portal stuff went, we did make some improvements on the O-line. While I'm not a believer in our O-line coach, that was a big issue for us last year. And if we can at the very least run the damn ball.
Please do something with it or pass it. Move the football. How many games do we have under 100 passing and rushing last year? 6.
It's tough. Yeah. So I think at the very least, if we can run the ball, we might be able to put ourselves in a position to win some games because, like we talked about last week, if we run the ball a little bit better against at least Vandy, and I'm struggling to think of another one. I think the Auburn game, it looks worse than what it actually was.
Auburn was worse than it looked, actually. They ran for 312 yards against us, I think. Their running back, Vasquez, who didn't start 2 weeks out of the he ran for 255. But no, what you're saying, the Georgia game, if we could run the football, you don't lose that game 13-12. How about that?
Yes.
That's a game you should have won. And so there's plenty of reasons to be optimistic, I think, that you can steal a game or two that you didn't win. Utah State plays Vanderbilt week 2, so we'll get a nice little look at Diego Pavia. If Utah State beats Vanderbilt and Kentucky doesn't, you're never going to hear the end of it. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh boy,
it's a very real possibility.
Decent chance of that. Yeah.
Hey, Bryson Barnes going to tear that ass up. Let's go. The pig farmer's going to go in there and show Pavia what's up.
All right, everybody. I feel like we are wrapping it up. So if you have anything else, question-wise, or anything you want to get off your chest at Braden, go ahead.
Orlando, come on, bro. I'm feeling sensitive today. Be nice.
But yeah,
I think actually I see real quick. Some people are talking about Potter. I think Potter's had some good tape in the couple practice.
Holy smokes! I forgot about Potter.
Put out. Yeah, man, we are just we are so stacked. Malachi apparently looked excellent at the Team USA tryouts. I guess
he got yammed on by a 6'2" guard from Louisville commit, but that was the only downside. He did get put through the rim one time, but that's about it. He played well otherwise, but then mutually left the team after his injury.
I'd kind of like to see the rest of that play though.
Me too.
I'd love to know what position he was in. Is that a fast break where he's just trying desperately to recover, or is it?
Or does he go to try to make the right play? Who was it that DeAndre Jordan detonated on from? Was it Brandon
Knight?
Yeah, but he was in the right position. He made the right defensive play. Sometimes you got to make that business decision though, and not get sent to the highlight reel of hell. But I would like to see that too. But he did get dunked on pretty good. It was a pretty good post.
Well, and in fairness, I think Michael Brown, and people aren't going to like this, I think Michael is great. I really wanted him before he went to Louisville. He showed out all summer, all school year. I think I think there's no shame in him playing well against you.
I think he sucks.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Never heard of him, but I know he's trash. I mean, clearly a poor judge of character if he's going to Louisville.
I mean, I think he just wanted to be taller than his coach. That's the problem. He couldn't go to Kentucky for that reason alone.
The mentioning of the Brandon Knight thing puts me on a whole other tangent because I am a Kentucky / Clippers fan. I may be the only one in existence, besides maybe some random Kentucky fans that happen to live in LA that can't afford to go to Clippers games. I mean,
Or
go to
when
Lakers
SGA was
games.
drafted, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
go.
So I am a rare Kentucky Clippers fan, and that put me in a tough spot. And then on KSR this week, when they were saying that the equivalent to the Kentucky Louisville rivalry in the NBA is comparing the Lakers to the Clippers, hurt me personally, because you're comparing a team that I love in Kentucky to a team that I hate in the Lakers, and comparing a team that I love in the Clippers to a team that I hate in Louisville. Although it is accurate, and I've had similar takes myself, but
It's never fun to hear,
hurt my feelings.
Oh man.
Oh, guys, I forgot to mention, I did put Stokes in the thumbnail and the title. Do we think Stokes comes to Kentucky? I thought we were going to talk about it.
I mean, I think his visit probably went well. From the sounds of things,
Well, you didn't
it
use
did.
Stoops in the thumbnail? Okay, sorry.
In the same way that everybody ever says their visit went well, and otherwise, I think his camp's being super quiet. I mean, he's boycotting and has blocked Jacob Polachek, our beloved Opie. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a good way to get a read on that. I think that all cycle long we've been heavy on him, so maybe. But also, I'm incredibly hesitant to predict anything from the 2026 recruiting class, because we just don't know what kind of spots we're going to have available. I mean, we don't, and we won't know until like
May of next year.
Yeah, May, right? Yeah, until the portal cycle's over, till the NBA draft decisions are made. We could conceivably have 13 of these guys back, 12 of these guys back.
Yeah.
And I don't think we will. I think we'll have some try to go pro in addition to the two seniors. I think we'll have some, you know,
You have a guy
I
or two
think
transfer
that
away. It's just the nature of business, bro.
there's no coach I trust to handle having 14 guys, all of whom want playing time better.
Yeah.
But still, I just don't think there's a way you keep all those guys happy. And maybe you've sold them effectively on a 2-year plan or longer term or something. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if any of them said, hey, I can get more playing time somewhere else. Especially if a majority of those other guys are coming back. And so
I think
when
the
you have
exhibit
these
A on
questions,
that is BG coming back. The fact that he's back is a good
right? Yeah, sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I think when you have all these question marks, that's tough when you have a lot of high schoolers who want to commit before their season starts. And so they want to make these decisions in September, October, November. And it's like, dude, we're not going to know shit for another 6 months.
Yeah, it's true.
I do think that it is a bit silly to try to make predictions on, especially someone like Stokes, on where they're going to land right now, because it does feel like it's going to be kind of like whoever the highest bidder is type thing.
Yeah.
There could be somewhere that he goes that's not even really in on him right now, that's just going to drop a big old bag of money on him. I do have my doubts about him ending up a Cat, if I'm honest. Mostly just because, I mean, he is kind of like a Louisville guy. And I know that people will say like, oh, it's, Kentucky's in there. That is what our recruiting people tend to do, is they tend to overblow how much Kentucky is really involved.
Yeah.
So I have my doubts. And we did, me and Ben have mentioned this numerous times, that we did see Stokes play in the Peach Jam last year. And he's great, but I could see we may not be as all in on him as we would be for other players, just from a team fit aspect.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that entirely. I think the other thing you talk about a team coming in and throwing money is we don't have any idea yet how that's going to work. We don't know if people are going to be able to do that. We have no idea how much money can be a factor, at least in the way we've come to think about NIL for this class. And I don't mean to tell anyone how to do their jobs, but if I was someone who was advising a potential reclass from 2026 to 2025, the second I saw this house settlement thing coming, I would have said, reclass, take a huge bag, while we know for certain that that's on the table. And he teams are desperate for talent like that, and he could have made so much money. And I know his mom has said he's not in a position academically to reclass, but he really could have. I mean, what, $5-6 million probably had he reclassed, 4 at least, I'd say, compared to what some of these portal guys got. And what do we do if next year basketball rosters as a whole are only getting 4 instead of individual players? I mean, that's a huge risk on any, and not just him, any of these guys that could have potentially reclassed and didn't. I think most of them didn't. And so I don't know who's advising them. I don't know what, maybe they have knowledge we don't, but it's crazy to me that more of them didn't say, hey, I know I can get this money now, I'm going to take it.
Nate Amon ended up at Tennessee. So who knows where Tyran Stokes is going to end up. JQ ended up at Arizona State.
I was going to say, that was Arizona State for you randomly. Okay.
So who knows? Stokes he might end up at BYU. That would actually surprise me less than him ending up at Kentucky, to be honest.
And with that,
I like the Kinney kid a lot. Wasn't he in OT as well, Ben?
Yep. He's on Jasper's team.
Yeah.
I like Kinney. I think he's. I'll hate his long twos, but I don't think I've ever seen a kid at that age so good at getting to their spot and just nailing it from free throw line jumper over and over and over again. I'm not sure I've ever seen him miss it. He's really good, looks great, he was one of the younger guys and played a ton. I think he's fun. The AAU season's kind of in full swing at this point. They've had a couple sessions. He's among the leading scorers. There's a couple other guys, Dylan Mingo, great. People say talent's down this year. Maybe that's true, but I think there are some pretty good players at the top of this class. Caleb Holt has been good. But again,
Holt,
I mean, it's
tough
for me to get.
Who Hart's in on, like basically wherever end up, or is that
that's Jason Crow, Crow Jr. Who also he may be leading or close to leading all of the AAU circuits in points, but he has some chucking tendencies that are. I mean, if you pull up a spreadsheet of points, attempts, whatever, he immediately jumps out as like, yeah, you've got the most points, but you've also taken 30 more 3-point attempts than the second closest guy, and actually this year he and Stokes are playing together, so that's interesting.
Pizza 1234. Love the name so much. If we don't get Stokes, who I mean, I'd probably venture to say one of the guys you mentioned, or probably transfer portal. To be honest, we have a ton of players who can return off of this next year's team.
So basically,
the recruiting and transfer portal class are highly likely to be light, but that's a whole 10 months from now. So.
I can't wait to see this team play before we have to replace them. First of all, we do this though every time. I love it.
Well, and it's tough because we've gotten so used to, as fans, under Cal, just because he was so good at recruiting, and under Pope because he cast such a wide net. We get so used to watching and really paying attention to some of these guys through the AAU season, through some of the high school season. We follow these recruitments and we kind of buy into that. And it's going to be really difficult for me not to do that this year, as I sit here and say, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what. And even if we are eventually going to have these roles available, how do you sell that to a kid? How do you say, like, well, maybe? And I hope you bet your commitment on it. Like, I think that's tough.
I think you sell them on it because there's no real commitments anymore. Guys will just back out and just leave if they want to. I mean, I don't see how the NCAA holds up any of this stuff after a year or two. Like the house settlement I get, but like, or what are they going to do, right? What are they going to do? Shut Missouri down? I don't know.
I would jokingly say, would you rather have year 2 Braden Hawthorne or a freshman Tyran Stokes? But I would take a freshman Tyran Stokes. But
well, I also need to see year 1 Hawthorne too before I make that decision. And that I think is what's going to be tough for Pope. Like he also doesn't. I mean, he's seen them much more than I have, but he doesn't know how they're going to develop. He doesn't know what they're going to turn into this year. It's just tough.
Joe Rafferty says, unironically, high schoolers really have to understand the assignment. So true. Well,
Also, I don't know if last thing I'll say, I don't know if you saw the practice video that came out today. They have the banners on the wall in the practice facility, and at the end is a blank spot that says number 9 and says the assignment under it.
That's so tough. I love that. That's hardcore.
I mean, you wonder why these players in every interview, their introductory, hey, what's up, BBN videos,
number 9,
and they get
number 9.
Yeah. You wonder how they are coached to say that, and the answer is like consistently all the time. This is drilled into their head. This is the goal.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
If they keep saying that, and if they start saying this is Kentucky a lot, the show's going to end up just turning on the entire basketball team.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
But I don't know. The rest of the fan base, or maybe even the listeners to the show, aren't as online as the rest of us to be as sick of that statement as we are. But whatever.
Just win, baby. Just win. Al Davis.
All right, boys. Closing thoughts. How are you feeling?
Just, I'm excited to get more content soon. I'm excited for the TBT stuff to start. I want to see who ends up on that team. I really want to see us scrimmage that team again. I want to see more player interviews. I want to see more practice footage. Just starved for content now, eating all that up. And so the more the better.
Do we have a JQ update?
Yeah, he's going to play week 1. There you go.
There we go.
I think so. That's my guess.
Peanut Butter Posse says this year's team is so intriguing. I can't help but wonder if Armageddon comes before we start.
Why are you putting that out there, dog?
It's so relatable. I used to think all the time, like, I would get legit scared, like when I drive my car, or like I would have a close call. I'd be like, oh my God, I almost died before Game of Thrones ends, and I won't ever get to know how it ends.
And now you wish you would have, huh?
Now I wish I did.
Yeah. Update for JQ. He got a little healthier today.
There it is.
As he does every
Every time someone doesn't answer my phone, I assume the rapture happened. My dad was a pastor while we were all growing up, so I was
wondering where that was going.
All throughout growing up, and as a little boy, like I was at church probably 3 nights a week at least. And when my parents would be like sleeping in on like a Saturday, or if they took a nap, or if I woke up from a nap and couldn't find anybody in the house, you could not convince my 7 or 8 year old brain that the rapture didn't happen and I was left behind. Those freaking cursed cameras up in my head.
Did you ever see the show The Leftovers? So I bet that show would have really freaked you out. Excellent show, by the way, but I bet it would freak you out.
All right, fellas, you guys have any personal anecdotes you want to end on? Anything new?
Black Mirror, the new season's really good. I don't know if you have a chance, but pretty solid.
I watched the first 3 episodes.
So did I, actually. What'd you like best?
I thought the Rashida Jones one was good. Where it was
the Rivermind one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that one felt real.
It did. It felt very much like the subscription model. Yeah.
Talk about lawsuits. There's going to be lawsuits out the ass from that.
All you gotta do is upgrade, bro. It's okay.
Ben, anything new?
Nope. Oh. Haven't been. I don't think I've watched anything other than sports in a while.
Did he just go super blurry for you too?
We got to distort his voice now with this.
He's like in silhouette, like he's talking about Bigfoot or something, like on Unsolved Mysteries.
I don't know what happened there.
That's about
I've just been watching sports. Been watched a ton of tennis. French Open was great. Now I've been watching the NBA. Watched some
Game
racing.
7.
Watched a bunch of hockey.
I'm sorry.
Summer sports is great.
The visuals killing me right now.
It looks like he's doing one of the things where his voice is going to get deep. He's like talking undercover about something.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm also moving. Like it's not just blurry; it's also frozen. So I don't know.
Well,
Troy Rafferty says, "Who do I got to suck off to get that Catican merch?" I see that polo on. Good point. The Catican store will return by next show. I'll start linking it in the chat. Also, some other admin stuff for the new college football game. The day of release, we will be doing an all-night stream.
Yes, sir. Oh, on Twitch or on both YouTube and Twitch? Which one?
I think right here
All right.
on the good old YouTube.
Okay, cool.
Primarily Braden, me, and our good friend Trill Spivey.
Oh, baby. Trent making his debut.
By far be the most entertaining of the three of us.
Oh, you guys don't even know what you're in for with this cat. It's going to be the best. It's so good.
Lando says, "Let's run it on college football, Braden." He will take you up on that.
I will absolutely beat the shit out of you on college football. But let's do it. Yeah, no, we will. We'll run it. If you want to play that night, we'll play against each other. I promise you. The return of Kappa Sauce. That is an absolute pull from the deeps right there. I'm still blurry.
Sure is. Yeah, dude. I don't know.
The best part is our buddy Trent will be streaming with us. He just doesn't know it yet, but he will absolutely be streaming.
He's absolutely going to. Respect his win, baby. Let's get it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Catican. We will be back next week. Same time, same day.
Place.
Yeah. Gonna be BTA all night long and use Utah.
Yeah, go ahead and put Dampier again. I'll play you with Utah State and I'll still whoop that. I won't even. Jared, tell him I will run the ball 65 times in a row and he won't be able to stop it because you know damn well it'll happen if I want it to.
Between the tackles too.
It's gonna be dive city. You're gonna hate playing against me. It'll be just one after another. I'll go 14 running backs deep with wear and tear on. I don't give a shit.
All right. Thank you for joining the Catican. Take care. We love you all. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Sorry, but Cats is so good.